Howdy folks, I'm Scoryth, the Crimson Renegade. Welcome back to Final Fantasy 15. I've got a very strong feeling that we're really close to the finale here. I mean, this time for sure. Very well could be the final episode. If not, we're really close, I think. So, let's enter the throne room. Unless this place turns out to be like the beginning of the city and I gotta fight like level 70 enemies and I gotta try to get around. Alright. I don't have any weapons or anything, I'm just walking.
Guess he's expecting company.
He wants this as bad as we do.
Think the elevator's working?
Huh. Sure looks like it.
He is really taking us by the hand.
So he took over,
He'll save our legs the walk up.
Ardyn took over, Insomnia after the Imperial attack. Board the elevator? Did I miss a turn somewhere? Oh, it's here. It's kind of a weird spot for an elevator. But okay. Nice place. Push. Hope everybody was in. Otherwise we're leaving somebody behind.
The throne room. Waits outside.
Yeah. And so does Ardyn.
Acting like he owns the place.
It's time to take it all back.
It ends here. Tonight.
Head to the throne room, which I'm going to guess is this way. Alright.
Remember how nervous we were in front of King Regis the day we left?
That was the last time we were in here.
Yeah. They even let me in that day.
Feels like forever ago.
Alright. I have no idea what that says. I can't read it. Okay. Oh, wait. What's this? Examine.
Guessing Ardyn was meant to appear in these too.
Never would have guessed that guy for royalty.
He's been living a long time. In a world he could share with no one.
Oh, so this way. Okay.
I always hated this room as a kid.
Yeah? Why's that?
Coming here always made my dad all serious and sad.
It no doubt reminded him of the fate his son would come to bear.
Not much farther.
Well, shall we, Noct?
Yeah, but... hold on a sec. Prompto. Can I see your photos?
Yeah?
Actually, I realize Iggy's hair is different.
To take with me.
Oh. Yeah. I get it. You can take whichever you like.
Are we really reviewing the 91 photos that we took? Oh, God.
I
Okay.
wish I had a photo of everywhere we went. But this'll do.
The camera can only hold so many pictures.
See, his hair's kind of a brownish, dirtyish brown there, Iggy's, and now it's like pitch black.
Only befitting the regalia be included in the shot.
I should probably take that one with me, because that's got all of us and the regalia.
And no car like the Regalia. Took us around the world and back.
Ah, yes. It wouldn't have been a road trip without her.
Think of all the places we've been. All the shops along the way.
Always something new around every corner.
Gotta take one from our zany adventures.
Got a lot of Iggy. There's Sid. There's the mech. The first time we fought a
brings back
Magitech.
memories, doesn't it?
That's another case of shot of all four of them. there's the peekaboo behemoth. Those are the chocobos. There's Eris. There's Eris with Prompto. And Prompto with a chocobo. That shot. I forgot about that one. He said that the damn Catopolis, that creature wasn't close enough. The Topopass wasn't close enough. I don't know how much closer he could have gotten. She looks kind of sad, that picture. Here's Talcott when he was a little boy. And of course her. And us fighting alongside with her. And of course he had to get the boob shot, like I said before. I loved that shot right there because of the water on the bridge over water. Just impresses the hell out of me. Whoever came up with that that type of design for Altissia, incredibly impressive. A genius. One of the last pictures we took while Ignis could still see. There's Carbuncle behind Iggy. And then there's that one. And there's Leviathan. And back to the beginning. Alright. I think the one I want to take with me is the one with all of us and the Regalia. I just think that's the most appropriate. We started this game with these four and the Regalia. Let's take this picture with us.
And then back to when we took that.
That's what one more take with us. So select.
I can't beat that. A shot of all four of us together.
Through it all, we had each other.
And we had the Regalia for the most of it. Unfortunately, Prompto wasn't there when the Regalia went down, but...
Then it's settled. That's the one? No backsies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
Holy crap. Was that Regis hanging as one of them? Isn't this Regis here in the middle?
I'm afraid you're out of luck. The throne brings you here. It seats only one.
Off my chair, Jester. The king sits there.
Oh, Noct. How I have waited for this. Longer than you could ever know. Tonight, the dreams of the Blood Royal come to an end.
Spite's all that's kept him going.
Talk about a grudge.
Ardyn sits the throne.
Not for long. This is my ascension. What did you do?
They have no place in this. The Battle of Kings. Come, Noctis.
Tell me they just knocked out. I'm behind an invisible wall, of course. Now, I'm hoping, first of all, I hope those three are just knocked out, not dead. I'm hoping that... okay, I just had a thought. What was I going to say? When seeing those three down really threw my thinking off. I hope they explain. I'm hoping they explain his Ardyn's exact lineage to us, because remember, he in a couple episodes back he announced his name as Ardyn Lucius Calum. So, is he Regis' brother? Is he another son that we didn't know about? Or was it therefore he's Noctis' brother? What exactly part of the Lucius bloodline is he? They haven't explained that yet, or if they have, I haven't seen it. Clearly I can't go up the rocks because, rocks obviously block my... Okay, I can go up the rocks, sort of. Obviously my path is up the stairs, so... They vanished.
It ends now.
I guess I can't sit here, obviously. I need to go this way. Alright, my destination is right there. I got a point warp way the hell out there. I don't think I've ever point warped that far. It's almost a mile. Good way to start, though.
The once helpless and hapless prince. Is he now ready to claim his crown? Don't let us down. Let the games begin.
My outfit's changed.
No. Now they end.
Let's start with this.
Until only one remains.
Let's go up high.
You are the chosen king.
And reply with that.
You are a second choice.
Okay, he keeps dodging. Okay, he got the same abilities I do. So I need to go up high. And then counter with this. Okay, I got a 3.4 times strike on that one. B.
Chosen to die.
Oh, he's vulnerable. Attack with lots of speed here. Keep going here. That kind of going with this. Ooh, let's go up high. And return fire. There we go. Oh, I don't know if I hit him or not. Go up high. Let's use our same strategy we've been using so far. There we go. 1.1 times damage. There we go. Oh, dodge it. Attack. Let's go up high again. Find our target. Go. There we go. 3 times damage. I'm sure he's probably going multiple forms of him. There's no way that's going to be his only form. Block. Okay, that's right. That worked better. Ooh, okay. Wow, that worked. Lock on. Can we lock on? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, I gotta block wherever he comes from. There he is. Oh, he's trying to hit me with magic. Let's get away from that real quick. He's injuring himself, it looks like, with his own ice attacks. Oh, let's block. I know where it's coming from. Well, there it is.
Let me know when you're ready to begin.
Oh, he's vulnerable now. Let's go.
Do you like what I've done with the world?
Good hits, good hits. Keep going.
Just for you.
Dodge. Point warp. Ah, missed me. Lock on. He's too far away to lock on. I need to be locking on. I guess I need to be point warping closer places. Whoa. This isn't good. I'm a little low on health. High elixir. Me. You ready to block? Okay, gotta dodge it. I'll take that instead. Point warp. Okay, lock on. And go. 4.5 times damage. Alright, we need to do some dodging here. There we go. Now we attack. Let's change positions. Oh, get up high, get up high, get up high, get up high. Damn it. Didn't get a point warp in time. Point warp somewhere, damn it. Turn, attack. Oh, he dodged it. Let's go up high and counter. Get him away again. Sometimes there's a problem with the point warps. Is uh-oh, block. Hello again.
Dimension. I'm immortal.
Oh, I didn't get the full one out of that one. 1.3 times damage. I'll take that. Oh, block this, whatever it is. Parry.
Is that really the best you can do?
I don't know what that is. I don't know what he did, but
Do yourself on my mercy.
all right. Point warp. Target. Where is he? Oh, yeah, if he's close enough, I can probably initiate an armature here. Go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, we're doing some damage.
In name alone, I'm truly disappointed. Can't you do any better
Parry.
than that? 10 years, and nothing to show for it.
Block. And parry. I'm going to use the high elixir here because I'm a little low on health. There we go. Summon, summon. Hold the LT, hold the LT. Alright, who are we taking? Titan. Good choice. I would have taken any of them. Once he's tearing up half of the city, but meh. At this point, beggars won't be choosers. Gaia's Wrath. Chunk. $10,551 damage. Nice.
Even with the dawn to break now, it would only bring.
Wow, look how small his health bar is now. Ah, he dodged me, you son of a bitch. And dodge that, 1.6 times damage.
To be a myth.
Get that, point warp there, and then counter, reverse, and good thing I did. Good thing I was away from those flames. Whoa! Cutscene.
My revenge is soon at hand. How long have I waited?
Don't worry. It's far from over.
Well, let's have it then. You and your crystal. Against all I have become.
Of course, his hearing will change to his second form.
Of light! Ah, a king at last!
Ah, I see how we're doing this. This is just like the battle with Leviathan. Warp strike. Phase, warp lock on. There we go, warp strike, okay. Air dash, phase. Attack with B, there we go. Alright, let's just keep holding that B button down. Or spamming that B button. Okay, let's not spam it anymore. One time damage, I need some health here. High elixir Noctis. Health back, there we go, let's keep going. Lock on. Phase. So I can get some attack range here. Oh, there we go. Let's try this. Warp strike, one time damage. Let's do this. Warp strike again. My thumb is really getting tired of holding that, having to press these buttons. Okay, I need a break. Second. Ah, my hand. It really hurts. Whew. Owie. Okay. Back to spamming mode, huh? Tell you, big baby, when you try to do this crap. Alright, let's back up here. Back up here, back up some more, back up some more, back up some more. Dodge, dodge, dodge. Can't back up any farther. Okay, warp strike. I can only warp strike for one time damage. So I can't get back far enough. Oh, here we go. I think his health bar depleted. Ow.
A war of attrition, then.
What's all this?
The kings of yore are on hand, calling you forth to oblivion.
I only got one weapon. I can't lock on. I can't use my...
Yet when your father died,
I'm only using...
you were off playing with your friends. When your beloved died, you lay watching, powerless to stop it. You think 10 years is a long time? It is nothing to me. I have lived in darkness for ages.
Okay, why can't I dodge him anymore? I don't like the fact that I'm constantly having to... Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Spam that B button. Oh, it was a fired shot. I threw a shuriken at that time. See, I don't have all the weapons, but I'm still using it.
That is how you would end it.
Looks good to me. This time, stay down and don't get up again. That was for Lunafreya.
Now it is over, Majesty. What will you do? Banish the demons and bring peace? Erase me from history once more?
Sounds good to me.
Time, you can rest in peace. Close your eyes. Forevermore.
I will await you in the beyond.
Completed chapter 14. 10,000 experience. Those 3 did survive, right?
So this is farewell.
Yeah. Here we are.
Okay, they did good.
It's all you.
No turning back now.
I wonder how my outfit got changed before that fight with Ardyn. I mean, what fell off my outfit?
Prompto. Gladio. Ignis. I leave it to you. Walk tall. My friends.
Godspeed. And take care.
At least his eyes are open
Majesty.
there.
The time has come.
Oh, right, remember what Bahamut said. Put my controller down so next time hit a button and skip a cutscene or something. That's a lot of Iron Giants.
I walk tall. And though it took me a while, I'm ready now. I love you all. Luna. Guys. Dad. The time we had together, I cherish. Kings of Lucis. Come to me! Trust in me.
Oh shit! We're doing something. cracked. Oh, it's disappearing.
It's finally over.
Put my controller down, didn't realize I was going to push a button again.
Can it? Ready? Steady.
Really?
Push!
Thing's so heavy.
Unbelievable.
Not exactly a fairy tale beginning, huh, Prince Noctis?
We let ourselves get carried away.
Oh, look, these things happen.
Let's just hope this isn't some omen.
Gladio, do me a favor.
What?
Push this thing by yourself.
All by myself?
You won't even notice if we just let go.
Prompto, don't even think
This was obviously the
about it.
conversation they had
Save
when we
some
first
breath
started the
for
game.
pushing.
Ignis, come on, time to switch.
Nuh-uh, we just switched back there.
And it's my turn, Noct.
I was going to go through all the pictures that we took. All of them. When the night has come and the land is dark. Oh. I have the music turned off. What the lines here, for those of you who may know the song, this is the this is a song called Stand By Me. Well, this is the credits, so obviously I'm going to take a moment to go ahead and give my review of the game. Overall, very impressed. I really am. I'm glad that this game finally came out when it did. Like I said in the opening episode, of opening few, I think, that this game, I think, was originally announced in 2006 or 2009, something like that, and has been in production for that many years, up until November 2016. I think the graphics look very, very good. Of course, I mean, if there's one thing that Final Fantasy, at least the games that I have played, always are known for, is each progressive title is always looked better than the previous one. And while 15, like I said, my comparison, I said early in the series, Final Fantasy 13 was the best looking game I had played of the Final Fantasy series. Not just because it was the first game of that generation, which was the Xbox 360, and what I really think is that the game looked extremely, extremely good. Everything, again, boob shotting.
Even pushing?
Hard as I can.
With everything I've
The
got.
game looked incredibly good. 13 looked incredibly good.
Check it out.
15.
Up ahead, the sign.
Nice.
The only reason I have a little trouble saying 15 looks just as good
You made me think
is
you were
because 13 had a lot of reflective surfaces, a lot of very shiny points because just of the environments that you were in. I won't go into too much detail because I do intend to play 13 on the channel. But the environments that you were in had a lot of shiny points, a lot of, I'll just say one area. One area you're entirely surrounded by crystal, so there's a lot of very, again, shiny points. It really makes the graphics look a lot, I guess I can say a lot better than they really are. It's kind of, it's kind of hard to really explain from my perspective what I think about 13's graphics. In comparison, 15 does not have those shiny surfaces and stuff. However, alternately, the areas all look incredibly good. You didn't see a whole lot of insomnia in the actual in-game engine until you returned here for the final battle. So I can't really say much about insomnia, but outside in the first area that I think it was called Leet or Light, I forget exactly. The first whole area where we go into Hammerhead and all those other places there, pretty much the largest zone. That area looked very good. I mean, it was very open land. Everything looked natural and good. Everything fit in well. Altissia, of course, unbelievable. Nothing beat Altissia. It was just a giant city on water that wasn't just like a city built on a lake or anything. There was actually waterfalls, and then like you had like a city up here on the top, like the royal, I guess probably like the royal, where the royalty would be, and then you had like a waterfall that led to like the middle part of the city, and then another waterfall that led to the lower part of the city, and it was almost like it was kind of tiered like that, and that was just beautiful. That was incredible.
Us around a campfire. How long's it been?
I'll continue my thoughts
An
after this.
eternity.
So yeah.
Out with it.
I just... Damn it. Why the hell is this so hard? So I've made my peace. Still, knowing this is it, and seeing you here now, it's more than I can take.
Yeah. You're damn right it is.
Huh. He spit it out.
It's good to hear.
Well, what can I say? You guys are the best.
All right, we're gonna get to move on now. I'll get to that. I'll get to that point in just a second. Okay, graphics overall very good. And the areas all of them looked incredibly good. Even some of the more the smaller areas that had the more of the long narrow hallway effects, like near the end of the game, like in the what the hell was it called? I know it's not called this, but this is the name that comes to Ziggurat Keep, and you know what I'm talking about. The place that was just nothing but long narrow hallways. I was playing pretty much all by myself, where I didn't have any of my powers. I only had the ring, and eventually got the sword. All of that was it fit the environment. It fit the rest of the game pretty well. It didn't look like two separate games too much, even though you had areas that looked vastly different between Altissia and Light or Leet. Again, I can't remember the name of that big area. the in battle graphics were always good. I had issues with the cameras on occasion, especially when we were fighting in like bushes and tree areas where there was like some somewhat tight rooms. The camera would get like stuck on a wall, and of course, obviously zoom in, so suddenly all you can see, Noctis and all the enemies were like this close to the camera. So other than camera issues, it was all right. The battle system looked good. The summons, the 5 that I got, all looked good. Obviously, my review is going to go beyond the credits here, I bet. But oh well. Hopefully, there's not too much after this that I can actually, No, there's a lot of. Hopefully, I can keep talking. My point. Sounds. Of course, I can't say anything for the music because I had it all turned off for just for the safety reasons. I might leave well, I do intend to play this game again off screen by myself just for fun, and I'll turn the music on for that. And I might maybe in this episode somewhere after I play it, I'll type up a short review of what I thought of the audio in the description of this episode or something after I listen to the music and give you my opinion. But knowing that it's a Final Fantasy game, I'm sure the music is going to be incredible. And I'm talking about just the game music that came from just this game. As you saw, you could like buy, I guess, CDs or discs or something that you could play inside the Regalia that had music from other Final Fantasy games, and some other games that were made by Square Enix as well, and mostly the Final Fantasy games. I'm not going to count those in my review because those belong in separate games, obviously. Obviously, our fight was successful, and now we have sunlight again, so that's good. We have daylight. As far as the battle sounds all sounded good. I liked how the monsters, the creatures, made noises as you some of the larger creatures as you were driving by. You could hear them bellowing in the background and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. The dialogue was I think the best in the series, in my opinion. I had said somewhere in the series that I liked this game because this game's dialogue mostly because it seemed more natural for everybody. Everybody, when they talked, it was more like natural conversation more than just exposition. Some not just Final Fantasy games, but some RPGs in general, all the talking you see is strictly just exposition, just talking about progressing the story or something like that.
Dearest Luna.
This game didn't have that. I mean, there was a lot to
deliver the ring to Noctis.
Damn it. There's some conversation here. Hang on. At least the rocks on the left side are gone.
Though my son may indeed be.
Is this before?
He has made me proud.
Oh, Noctis loses Caleb.
May you too. Know happiness.
So the throne of insomnia is going to sit empty. You have the picture of the 4 of them with Regalia. Oh man. Oh hell! Thanks for breaking up the moment, controller. Damn thing went dead. The batteries didn't die. It turns itself off after a while because it don't do anything. Cutscene was so long, the controller turned itself off. All right, I can probably. Oh no, that's cool. That is awesome. That really is awesome. I'll leave that right there. That scores some points right there. Okay. I'm pretty sure I can move on now. Okay. Sounds, dialogue. Yeah, the dialogue was really good. I liked how there was the natural conversation, so natural that they included swearing, which they try to step around as often as they can in the Final Fantasy games. And anytime they bring in a character that does have a more natural type of conversation, that does cuss, they'll censor it out. AKA Final Fantasy VII, Barret, and Cid are my biggest examples of this. Those are my biggest complaints about that game, and I will get into that when I play the game. So the dialogue of this game, in my opinion, both allied, friends, NPCs. I didn't really listen to a whole lot of the NPCs, but it was some NPC conversations with enemies turned allies like Aranea. All the conversations with Ardyn, while they don't remind me exactly of Kefka, because I haven't played Final Fantasy VI more than I've only played it one time. Ardyn reminds me of Kefka in the fact that Kefka was a true, what I call one of the true antagonists. They were truly antagonizing you throughout the game from beginning to end. For the most part, there was a dead space, no pun intended, where he kind of disappeared off the map. I'm talking about Kefka from 6. But Ardyn reminds me of that once you met him, you automatically had a strange feeling about him. You kind of went along with him for a little while when he showed you how to reach how to reach Titan. And then you saw him go from kind of a bad guy, but kind of a good guy, somebody you might trust but might not. And then he helps you out by stopping Ravus from attacking Gladiolus. And you think, okay, maybe this guy's a little better than we think, even though he's the High Chancellor, or Chancellor? Was that what it was? I think Chancellor of the Empire. And then, any doubts that you had about him being a good guy or about him being a bad guy went out the window in Altissia when he killed Lunafreya. At that point, it's just, okay, this guy is number one on my shit list. I don't care what I have to do the rest of the Empire. This motherfucker's going down. And my only complaint about that part of it is the whole story revolves around Niflheim attacking your hometown. And you saw, at least a little bit of it once in a while, you saw a lot of the ranking officers of the Empire. You saw... I think his name would be pronounced Ideolus or something like that. You saw the main guy, I think the Emperor. And then, of course, you saw Aranea, you saw Ravus, you saw that commander. I keep calling him the commander because I can't remember his name. It was the guy that we were chasing down when we had, I think we were heading to Cape Kayam. We had Iris with us, but we told Iris to stay behind in Old Lestalem while we went and attacked the base, and we went and we'd be stealthy trying to catch the commander. I think that was the same mission. We saw him, we saw Ravus, we saw Ardyn there as well. We didn't really fight anybody in the Empire except Ariana once, and then she kind of joined our side. Ravus only because he had been controlled and twisted into a demon by Ardyn, and then the actual Emperor Ideolus had been completely changed into a demon, and we fought him, and that's kind of how that was the only way we really eliminated the Empire, was just by defeating them, just because they had turned into demons. I would rather have at least fought them each once as a full human, because they were the Empire's ranking soldiers, and then maybe later, not necessarily revived by Ardyn, but brought back as demons in kind of like a step-by-step way to get to the final boss. Think like instead of having the bosses we fought here, which I don't have too much of a problem with the bosses we fought here, Behemoth King, and then Ifrit, and then Ardyn himself. That wasn't too bad. I think it was pretty cool. But I think it would have been nice if maybe in that first area, instead of having those ridiculously high-leveled enemies that we had to kind of sneak our way by, it could have had the first fight being against Ravus as a as a demon, and then maybe before we get to Ifrit, maybe another battle in between there against the Emperor Ideolus as a demon. And then that would be near the end of the game, of course, before you go and fight Ardyn for the last time. And earlier in the game, say somewhere in the town, when you're actually attacking the town of Niflheim, or the Niflheim, the base we were in, that Ziggurat Keep or whatever it was called. Instead of fighting their demon form there, I would have rather fought their human form there, and then maybe, and I think that would have been better, just in my opinion. I'd rather have beat their empire as their humans, and then Ardyn in his last twisted ways trying to maintain the darkness, bring them back as his minions, as demons in the final fight in Insomnia. That's how I think that should have gone. Not that this was bad. I think I just think that way would have been better. The storyline overall, however, I thought was actually pretty decent. My only complaint about the story... Okay, no, that's not really a story complaint. The story itself was good. I thought it was pretty good. Interesting how a royal member of the family, the prince, the son of the king, pretty much just becomes a commoner. I mean, yes, he has these special abilities. That's what makes him being able to fight all these enemies and fight the Empire and fight the demons, and do the hunts for these other people and stuff. Because of the special ability, because of his royal ancestry and his royal line. But it was good that because he was royalty, he really didn't get a whole lot of special treatment from people wherever he went. If he was recognized, it was like, oh, hey, Prince Noctis, how you doing? He was presented more of a commoner by the NPCs than you would think royalty would be in those situations. Which I thought was fine, which I thought was good. It made me feel like sometimes I would forget that he was actually Prince Noctis instead of just Noctis himself, dropping the royal rank. I had a little issue with the flow of the game, though. The battles when they came up, when you actually had a focused objective, the battles were great. You're battle here, 2 or 3 feet, battle here, 2 or 3 feet, battle here, 2 or 3 feet. Oh, harder battle here. Maybe you got a boss coming up soon, 2 or 3 feet. Okay, so sort of a save point, sleep point, rest point. Okay, big fight against a big boss. All right, we got him. End of chapter. Excellent. But getting to those fights seemed a little long to me. The first example I can really give you is one of the first times when right after the Empire had attacked Insomnia and King Regis got killed. We went back from, I think we were in Golden Key when we found out, and we had to drive all the way back to Insomnia, or at least to the Insomnia Gate, to actually engage the Empire. Moments like that, where you have a real good intensive battle moment, and then right after that you have to go through a long area of either driving or walking or reaching a destination, and then you get a lot of fighting in between. Or a lot of fighting at that point. That just seemed to interrupt the flow to me. Other previous Final Fantasy games, as you were traveling to the destination, you had enemies to fight along the way. And I can kind of see how they didn't use that here, because you had the regalia, you were in a car, and really the only time you were going to encounter any enemies on the road if it was nighttime, and the demons were out. So there isn't a valid excuse as to why you didn't encounter enemies along the way. That, and sometimes the distance that you would be traveling was 2 or 3 miles, and walking 2 or 3 miles with battles in between, while it would have kept the flow of combat going, would have made the story even farther and farther spread out and kind of loose to me. Overall, I was afraid that this game might have ended up getting the Duke Nukem treatment. And what I mean by that is the latest game that came out for Duke Nukem, I believe it was called Duke Nukem Forever, I think was in development for 12 years or something ridiculous like that. Changed hands, and the development team changed hands several different times to change the entire team, change writers, this, that, and the other. And what came out of Duke Nukem Forever, supposedly, I haven't played it myself, from what I've heard, Duke Nukem Forever came out to be a very, very bad game overall, despite the amount of time they took to develop it. I was afraid this game might have had that syndrome because they had similar issues. Like I said, they started either 2006 or 2009, and was in development as far as a conglomerate of games with the Final Fantasy 13 series, Final Fantasy, I believe, Type 0, and what this game was originally called, Final Fantasy Versus 13, which was sort of some kind of this grand universe based around something called the Nova Crystallis universe. This is if I'm recalling my memories right. I could be a little bit off on some of the details of the history, but apparently after a while they realized, you know what? Let's just, first of all, the title was confusing as hell. Final Fantasy Versus 13. If you would just tell me, okay, here's a game called Final Fantasy Versus 13, and told me nothing else, what I would think is this may be some kind of spin-off game to Final Fantasy 13, and it's kind of a how should I say, like a battle royale game where you would have all the or sort of a Dissidia kind of thing, where you'd have all the characters of Final Fantasy 13 fighting each other in a fighting game style combat instead of an RPG. Now, you wouldn't think by that title that game would be an RPG. So that's probably why they changed it and said, okay, well, we don't want this to be part of this universe anymore because, first of all, there is nothing in this game that relates at all to Final Fantasy 13 in any way, save for the small things, chocobos, certain enemies, tonberries, crap like that, which are in all the Final Fantasies for the most part. So they decided, okay, let's just drop the 13 moniker and just stick this to 15. Let's make this our 15th title. And they went with Final Fantasy 15, which I thought was a great change, a great thing to do. So overall, I think this game, the game surpassed. I don't have to worry about that anymore. The game did not have the Duke Nukem Forever syndrome. I think the main storyline was a little short. Like I said, this is episode 41, and the main storyline is, granted, all I did was the main story. I did a few side quests in the beginning, a couple of hunts in the beginning, and I saw that seemed to take a lot of time, mostly to get to, do them, and then return to a contact, which that kind of felt more like an MMO, which turned me off a little bit as far as doing the side quests. But I felt that was going to make this series a lot longer than it should have been. So I went, okay, let's just bypass the side quests unless it's something that can kind of relate to the main line, and then we're just going to go straight to the main storyline and do everything that we can. Things like attacking the base outside of Old Ostala when we dropped off Iris there. I believe that was actually a side quest. We could have ignored that and driven on. I'm pretty sure we could have. So the side quests like that I didn't mind doing because they were still part of the main story. So I didn't mind that. But the main story, once you do just the main story, seemed pretty short. Like I said, 41 episodes for a Final Fantasy game and 20, maybe 30 hours. When I get to Final Fantasy VII, granted it's going to be a little bit long because I'm going to make it a tutorial, because I know the game very well. I'll be doing kind of a step-by-step walkthrough for it, so that's going to make it a little bit longer because I'll be explaining things to you. But I've got a feeling that game, even main storyline and side quests, that's going to be probably 60 episodes or more, because I've done some test runs with it before. And Mass Effect 1, I did some test runs with it before as far as recording setups and stuff. And Mass Effect 1, its main story is very short, just in of itself. But the side quests made the game a lot longer. And while I haven't done the side quests here, Mass Effect side quests were very good at filling in spots of the storyline, which is fine. I don't know if the side quests here do that too much, or it's anything more than just, oh, hey, we need you to go pick up this, or like Cindy having us go find that Lucian wax or whatever it was, which we never did, and bring it back to her, and then she's going to put some kind of gloss on the regalia or whatever, things like that. The hunts are probably going to be the longest side quest things to do. They're probably going to end up having some of the hunt quests be things where you fight large creatures, like probably adamantoids. And some of the really, really huge creatures of the Final Fantasy series. The ones that, you look at them and you go, okay, I can hit him with my sword, but all I'm going to do is be poking him with a toothpick. That's what I'm expecting these side quests to be for the most part. So I hope that actually expands on the story as well, and not just be something to fill the clock. That's what I'm hoping. And so I can't say on that because I haven't played them. But in the meantime, overall, let me go and just wrap up my point because I've been talking way too long now. Overall, I don't think Final Fantasy 15 is the best game they've made. I still don't. My personal favorite is 7 because I was, like many, many, many other people, that was the very first Final Fantasy game I had played. I know it front to back and forward. I think there's only like 2 things in that game that I'm not 100% on, as far as, just knowing off the top of my head. So, overall, is 15 the best game? No, I don't think so. And it's certainly not the worst game in the series. Story, very good. I think the story was very good. One thing that it definitely got out of the story is it got me emotional. It really did. It really, really made me tear up on occasions. You probably saw it there, especially in that last scene there when Noctis was talking to the other 3 guys, and you saw him tearing up. I couldn't fight it. I teared up a little bit too. Luna's death, when during the scene while she was kind of fading away in the water, Noctis was reaching for her, and Iggy saying that, Iggy saying she was gone, while Noctis was holding the ring in her hand, the ring in his hand rather, and looking at the book, seeing that rose in the book. It was really, really hard for me not to tear up. I mean, I don't know if it actually came across on the camera, but I know I teared up there. And this is the first game I think I've ever played that's really done that. That's really actually hit me with that kind of emotion. Brought me to tears like that. I mean, I've connected with characters, and I've been pissed at characters. I've hated characters for certain reasons. I hated Ardyn for killing Luna and that kind of thing. And that would have happened regardless. I would have hated Ardyn for that anyway. But the way they told the story and the connection that I got with Lunafreya through Noctis, and seeing Noctis having to deal with Luna's death, that got me more than another certain death in a Final Fantasy game that I shall not mention here. This game, the story really was told very well and really brought me emotionally. It really got me emotionally. It really, really did. And there's not been a whole lot of games that have done that. Just maybe a couple others. And even some that are outside the Final Fantasy series. So, overall, very good game. Storyline, very good. Issues with the camera. Graphics looked very good. Can't say anything about the music. Didn't have it on. The level up system was kind of weird. How you gained experience, but you didn't level up until you went went to sleep, went to rest somewhere or finished a chapter. That was tolerable. I had issues understanding the AP system. I didn't seem to gain as much AP later on as I did early in the game. As I got a lot of abilities early on, and then later in the game, I was kind of scrounging for AP. I didn't touch the Ascension screen for probably half a dozen episodes, maybe more at a time, just because I didn't have enough AP to put anywhere. I like the support abilities that you had. You used Prompto and Gladius in them. I didn't like Iggy's first ability, Mark, because it required me to use daggers. I didn't like using daggers. Wasn't my playstyle. So when he got that second ability, Libra Elementia, I think is what it was called, where he was able to scan the enemy, know its weakness, and then hit it with a magic attack of its weak element without having to have magic set on him, really made him a more powerful character than he was before, which I liked. There were a few characters I wish I had saw a little more often. There's a few parts of the story that I think, like I said, if they said it, I may have missed it. For example, like I said, I don't know what happened to that commander at that one base that Iggy took to the Hunters, and the Hunters supposedly lost. I don't know what happened to him. I never really found out how to get to some of those secret rooms that had the locked door. Kind of obvious you needed a key, but you think I would have stumbled across it by accident, unless it's a side quest thing that I never got to. Just for one final thing, I would have liked to, at the final area, before you went to Insomnia to fight the final area, I would have liked to have gone to Lestalem one last time and see the changes that had happened over those 10 years between the time by the time Noctis saw Bahamut and then woke up on that rock island. That 10-year gap. I would like to have seen Iris as the demon hunter. I would like to have seen Ardyn 10 years later, see how they had changed if they had at all. But at least they showed me Talcott growing up 10 years later, which I thought was pretty cool. And even how he still remembered his grandfather's death and how he blamed himself. And then Noctis was able to talk him out of that. I thought that was a very good way to kind of close that little ring of story. Like it says in the beginning, a Final Fantasy for fans and first timers. I do agree with that. I think for those who have never played a Final Fantasy game or may only played of one or two, this is one. I would say if you want to get into the Final Fantasy series and kind of learn some of the. Again, the Final Fantasy series isn't there's no games that link to each other save for sequels of themselves, like 13, 13-2, 10, 10-2, those kind of things. None of these games are connected to each other. You'll never find any story about Noctis in Final Fantasy IX or Final Fantasy IV or anything like that. You may get a few references here and there, like Cid, for example, but you're not going to get anything about the storyline from 15 in a previous game. So, but I do agree that if you want to get into the Final Fantasy series, I would say either start with 7, 10, or 15. Those are the three best ones, and probably in that. If I were to rank the top 3 games to get started with, I would say 7, followed by 10, followed by 15 might actually surpass 10. So I would actually say 7, 15, and then 10. Only because the battle system is easy to learn for 15. 10 has its moments. And 7 still has a lot of throwback to old JRPGs, turn-based RPGs, and that kind of thing. I would say 15 is a good choice if you've never played a Final Fantasy game before or want to get started in the Final Fantasy series. Not the best game ever, not the best game in the Final Fantasy series, but a good place to start. So overall, again, I keep saying this overall. I do mean this time for sure. Final thoughts. Very good game. Like it a lot. I'm definitely going to play it again and do the side quests and all that. Because I'd like to see some of the hunts and that kind of thing. And I hope this series came out pretty well. I know there was a lot of points where I was doing a lot of walking, and there wasn't really a whole lot I could say at those points. There was also a lot of conversation between characters that I didn't want to interrupt, so there have been a lot of times where I couldn't make commentary. So if this isn't my best series, I apologize for that. I did the best I could. At least I feel I did the best I could, considering there was a lot of dialogue between characters that I didn't want to interrupt. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe to see all the episodes of this series. I've got other series that I'm going to do. I'm not going to say all the Final Fantasy games, because there's some that I have no intention of playing at all. I have a strong intention of playing at least the CD era of Final Fantasy games. I'm going to 7 and beyond. I'm going to play 7 for sure. It's going to be a walkthrough. 8, I don't know that I'm going to play because I don't like the battle system at all. And I'll explain why when I get around to it. It's too long to explain here, and I've been babbling long enough. 9, I've never really played. I played it once, and I never played the entire thing all the way through. I don't really have a reason why. I just didn't. 10 will also be a walkthrough because I have played it a lot and I know it pretty well. The sequel to 10, called 10-2, conveniently enough, will be a blind play. 11 is an online game. I'm not going to be showing that. I'm not going to be showing any of the MMO games. 12 can suck a dick. I'm not going to play that game. And 13, 13-2, and Lightning Returns will all be blind plays for the most part. 13 I know kind of well. 2 and Lightning Returns will be a semi-blind play, as I've only played both of those games once. 14 is another online game, so I'll be playing that one, and obviously I just did 15 here. So, I'll do the rest of the Final Fantasy series. I may do some of the pre-CD games as well. I'd like to try to do 6. Again, I played it once, don't remember a lot about it, so I might do that one for the channel. There'll be other RPGs I'm going to play outside of the Final Fantasy series. I've got a Tales of Vesperia, one of the Tales of games. Less known games, one of the more obscure, a couple of obscure RPGs that I haven't really seen to be very popular, called Blue Dragon and the Eternal Sonata. Those are 2 RPGs that I enjoyed. I'll be doing those for the channel as well. I eventually want to get around to Kingdom Hearts. I have the HD versions, so I'll be playing all the Kingdom Hearts that I have access to as far as the HD versions go, which is Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, and then the kind of subtitles in between them, Chain of Memories, and I believe the other one that came with the HD collection was Birth by Sleep, I believe. So those I'll be coming out with those eventually. So those are just some examples of RPGs. I got lots of other games planned. I don't know what's going to be next in the series right now. I'd really like to do 7. I really would, just because I've been after playing this. I really would like to get back into 7 and do that one. So I can't say exactly what's going to be next, but like and subscribe so you can see all of this one, all of what I have coming up, all that I've done before, and also check out Zeraphia's channel. She does some stuff too. She'll be playing some games that I'll be playing as well, so you can kind of see the game from 2 different perspectives, especially games that have 2 different perspectives in them, like Mass Effect, for example. So this will be it for Final Fantasy 15. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching Final Fantasy 15. I'm Scoryth, the Crimson Renegade, and I'll see you later. I know what you're probably thinking. Finally, he shut up. There's some stuff that came after this. We can control it. Congratulations on completing the game. View your certificate of completion from the archives. Then share this record with the success with all your friends. May put that on Twitter, sure. And at level 42.